Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend, and now we're back at it. Of course, we're back. I forgot to clear up some of the charts down here, so hopefully we don't expand any lower. Then it's gonna force me to clean up my charts. But before we start, just wanna have a quick review of what happened Friday. Obviously, Friday the market just shot up, and we didn't get any clear retracements to take any buys. But as you guys can see, after shooting up, we just had this consolidation, this mini consolidation, and then look what happened this morning. The London session came right to the first value gap that we had marked, and then respected the midpoint. Can't make this up, bro. You can't make this up. Respected this midpoint and the midpoint of this first value gap, the 1st of May, which is the first value gap of the month, and price just shot up, and we are here right now. Just want to review that to show you guys that how valuable the first value gap is. Um, yeah. So we have our primary sell side, which is this is a London low right here, just to show you guys. We have our London low, which is our primary sell side, and then we have the London high. I would mark that, but it's yeah, you guys get the gist because the primary buy side for me it's right above the daily high right there. And then let me just take that off. And then we have these two relative equal highs. Well, these all these three highs right there, we have that intact right there. And then we have our minor buy side. This is our minor buy side. Right here we have our minor buy side. And then we have our sell side liquidity. Primary, I did mention that. And then yeah, we have these relative equal highs. I wanna mark them. Okay, I'll mark this one. Just mark this one. This is our London high. So let's just say sell side. On my days, bro. There we go. That's our sell side liquidity. We have 5 minutes until the market opens. We have no news today. Let me show you guys right that. We have no news today. Um, we have news tomorrow. This might be a problem because it might cause me not to trade. Obviously, I will be live, but it will force me not to trade because it's a red folder. I don't want to lose money unless tomorrow's video is going to be a bit longer because we're going to have to wait for the macro, the second macro. And then we have Wednesday, non-farm payroll, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. There we go. So non-farm payroll Mondays we can trade, but we can only take one trade, right? But I'm not gonna trade. I don't think I'm gonna trade. I'm just gonna see what the market is gonna do today. I'm just gonna stick to no trading. But I was taught that on a non-farm payroll week, the Monday of a non-farm payroll week, you can trade them, right? According to ICT's concepts, you can trade them, but any other Monday, if you don't have experience, do not trade them. I have a bit of experience, but I've, from my experience, Monday's a bit iffy and lackluster, like just a lot of back and forth. So, sorry, I just want some paper on my mic. So they a bit iffy. So just it's your best interest is to stay away from them. But like I said, non-farm payroll Mondays of that week, you can trade them. So let's see what the market does today. We'll probably just do like a demo trade, if you want to call it. Like how I always show like trade ideas. We'll probably do something like that, but doesn't actually change anything. But I don't think I will take a trade today. I doubt I will. I did end up buying a funded through Comet Capital. we'll see how that goes. It's a small fund, it's like the smaller size. And I'm just gonna build that up, and then the money from that one, just buy another one. So it's a bit of a challenge for me. Um, I'm gonna do that whilst I'm managing the other account. I wanna implement a trade copier, but the things I hear about them is just, yeah, it just kind of not complicates things, but yeah. But I'll definitely look into them just to make it a bit easier. So it's just so that I don't make the mistake I did the last time that forced me to blow my life funded. Um, so yeah, let's just see what the market has to do. I don't have any biases. I don't have. We don't look at the high time frames. Sorry about that. Let's see what's going on here. Um, came back to this first fair value gap, kind of consolidating at the moment. We had a break of structure to the downside with this candlestick. Let's see what price want to continue going higher. Yeah, let's see. Let's look at the daily. Let's look at the weekly. Actually, I haven't checked the weekly in a minute. This is our weekly. We've just been on an uptrend on the weekly. Yeah, we've just been on an uptrend. On the daily, on the other hand, we've been on an uptrend. Oh damn. Yeah, we've been just mind the yeah, we've been on an uptrend. What's this for? Yeah, we've been on an uptrend, and we have this volume imbalance right there. We have another one over here. Um, but let's see, are we gonna continue going higher for the day? So yeah, I don't really look at the 1 hour and the 4, but I'll just indulge that at the moment. Yeah, don't really have a bias for the day. Um, then the charts look so weird without notations, without the artwork. Um, yeah, let's just see what this day brings. We have our buy side, we have our sell side. Gonna wait for market open. We have a couple of seconds left because it's a live market. As you guys can see, so let's just wait and see what the market has to give us. I think it's probably gonna be like here. Okay, that's the first candlestick. I'm gonna eyeball the midpoint. It's like here. I'll just do this for you guys. Yeah, you see the midpoint is aligned with this, the new week opening gap midpoint. Just to make it a little bit easier for you guys. Center, range gap, and then we have just change that. And yeah, this is our opening range gap. This is opening range gap we have. So looks like we're gonna take out this minor buy side that we have on market open. Let's see, does price wanna do that? Okay, we struggled to break that going. Let's see, we reached the midpoint obviously before 10 o'clock. I think we could. It's just literally right here. And we have this long wick this week. Look our price just rejected off that. We took out the midpoint. Oh, we're having like a full gap closure right now. Full gap closure. We've had a full gap closure. We're gonna wait for the first fair value gap. And we have these this minor sell side, these relative equal lows right here. Let's see does price when I come take them out, because we had like a price failed to go higher, showing weakness, taking out to take out this minor buy side or did this high right there. So let's see what we want to come and take out the sell side liquidity that we have. and we're gonna wait for that first fair value gap. Just wait. I didn't even check how big is this. It's a good gap. It's a good gap. Let's see. Let's look at the SP 500. Basically the same. Failed. This high is slightly a bit higher than this one. But let's look at the bodies. Let's look at the bodies real quick. Well, it's the same. This body is. Oh, let's wait. It's probably gonna respect this midpoint of the um, new week opening gap midpoint. Let's see what the price wants to do. Just be patient and let it play out. Don't really have a bias, like I said. Price hasn't really hit a key area as of yet. Maybe we've taken out the sell side liquidity or the minor buy side, but so far we are unclear of what the market wants to do. So let's just be a bit more patient, um, and just wait and see what price wants to do. Ugh. Hopefully my videos help you guys as well. Like I said, these are not for you, they're more for me, but I hope they help you guys in a sense of like you see from my mistakes as well, the mistakes that I make. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a perfect trader. I make mistakes too. And hopefully you guys can go back into these videos and see from my or learn from my mistakes. You know, there are some things I do get right and there are some things that I do get wrong. And you guys can maybe learn from that. Maybe from like my losing streak last week, you guys can learn from my mistakes, the things that I've done wrong, and see where you can improve from your. We might not be trading the same strategy, or we might not view the markets the same, but I guess in terms of psychology, the way you heal while you're in a trade, you guys can just see from that, from my mistakes, the things that I'm lacking, you know. Let's see if we're gonna take out this sell side liquidity, these lows right here. Let's see. We took out this minor and we took out this low right here. Having a nice rejection back to the opening range gap. We want to see price break, come down here. So we want to see. We already closed the gap. We have a full closure of the gap now. Okay. I do think we want to sell. Um, I do genuinely do think so. But obviously, you just have to wait for more confirmation. You know. Um, yeah. Just have to wait for more confirmation. We are below this bottom half. And we're just bouncing around that. So let's see. Oh, we're having a nice displacement. So it looks like price, we closed the opening range gap. And then after price took out this low right here. And also look at this wick. This wick is the same as this one. Failed to get to the midpoint. And then it's like a string for bullishness. We went back to the opening range gap low, and then we just expanded higher. We went above this, the new week opening gap and the new week opening gap midpoint. No, opening range gap, sorry, and the yeah, midpoint. We're having a damn, okay. We back down. We had another price, we went back to the opening range gap high and then just displaced down. Let's see, does it still want to sell? To the midpoint right there. Okay. Yeah, I'm still on shorts. These lows look so clean, and we are failing to come above this. So having this back and forth, no clear direction. But sales look nice. I'm still stuck on sales. And having this prices displacing to that and this failure up here, just telling me that we want to sell. So I'm still stuck on shorts. Let's see what that opportunity come. And we're still waiting for the first fair value gap of the day. Let's look at consolidating and see these lows get taken out. Um, going down on the US 30. Already taking these out on the US 30, these lows. So let's see what the Nasdaq follows suit as well. Taking out these lows. On US 30, we took them out. On the SP 500, we haven't taken them out yet. But on the US 30, we're taking out these lows right here. This is QQQ. Basically like the Nasdaq, bro. And yeah, let's see. Let's see what Nasdaq sell. Waiting for that first fair value gap of the day. Yeah. Also, let's see what we actually get in SMT diversions. The US 30. I usually compare these two, but not the US 30. But we want to see price down the bottom half if it is that we want to see sells. But right now, there's just a bit of back and forth, a bit of uncertainty, uncertainty, uncertainty. Yo, what the heck? English, bro? Oh my God. Yeah, this price is quite uncertain at the moment. So we have to wait and see what price wants to do. I want to see a break of below this, like a good wick that we could use to take out the sell side into this new week opening gap low. And yeah, um, for now, let's just wait and see. Want to see which side price wants to break. We're gonna wait for the macro. This is yeah. We still haven't gotten that first fair value gap. We're back at the opening range gap high, and we just broke above that. Nice. Let's see that we want to take out this minor buy side that we have. So we could having an SMT divergence with these lows. But let's wait and see. Let's see how this candlestick closes. And then the next one as well will allow it to give us that first fair value gap. Try that minor. We're about to take out this. So this is going to be probably our first fair value gap. Took out this initial high that we had. Let's see, we take out this minor buy side. Let's see how price reacts at the new week opening gap high. Are we gonna reject off that? And then possibly these. If it is, I do wants to go higher. But we took out this minor buy side. Let's wait and see. Does it give us a nice fair value gap there? Going back to this. Took out that minor buy side. Okay. We have a fair value gap in here. Oh, sorry about that. This is our first fair value gap. Let's make it that goes first fair value gap. Today is the fourth, right? Today is the fourth. Uh, I'm not. Oh, yeah. Had a break of structure and all that. So that's our first fair value gap. Let's see what price wants to do. We took out this minor buy side liquidity. So let's see, does price want to continue going higher? If not, reject off this minor buy side, taking out this high. And then if we were gonna sell, we want to see price go below this first fair value gap and respect the bottom half of it. Then we can take out the sell side. If not, if price is gonna come back into this first fair value gap, respect the upper half of it, and then continue to go higher. To continue to go higher and possibly break through this again and take out the salsa liquid that we have in this one. Let's see what the market wants to do. So far we took that out. So let's see, do you wanna reverse after taking out this liquidity that was resting above these highs? So it's an SMT divergence with the SP 500. We did not take out the weight this high. The SP 500, obviously these two are lower, but we didn't take that out. Let's see what price wanna go lower. Decoupling, because the US study is still selling. We're back at that first fair value gap. Let's see, it's gonna respect that upper half. Hmm. I don't know how we. Okay. We're having a nice displacement to the upside, perhaps respecting that upper half. We want to see, will it want to break through this minor buy side? Take out these in this London high that we have right here. Let's see what the market wants to do. So this would be a nice trade idea for longs. Stop loss about that midpoint. If not, just for safety, below that low, then you wanna do that. This is your first TP, and then your second TP would be this London high right here, and then a runner would see these all-time highs right there. That would be your trade idea. So yeah, let's see what the market does. We have this new week opening gap high. Sometimes price could reject off this and not go any higher and just let you just fall. If not, go above it, then use it just to go higher. Um, As you guys can see, respecting that upper half of that first fair value gap. See, we are 3 minutes away from the macro. We're touching a new week opening up high. So a nice thing that's telling us like price wants to go high. You see this the bodies, the wick came down and did the damage, but the bodies are staying below the what? The opening range gap high, and then we are below the opening range gap. We're inside the opening range gap. Let's wait and see. I mean, like I said, the new week opening gap can be a bit of trouble where price can come up back up to it and just have either reject off it and go down. If not, you have a body above it and then price uses it to go send price higher. But so as far you guys can see, we are rejecting off it. It's like price telling us, I don't want to go higher. So this could have been like a Judah swing where price like fakes us out thinking that for all of the breakout traders, because we took out this minor buy side, saying that, oh, we want to go higher. And then people are like just trapped in this area. They're just trapped right here. They're trapped right here. And then we want to see price. And we're in the macro right now. We want to see, does price want to go below this first fair value gap for the sells? So far we're having a rejection. Price is struggling to break that up. So let's see. Does it want to? Does it want to go below? Like I said, we're only going to take shorts if price goes below this first fair value gap. But if price respects this upper half of it, we're stay with longs. Like I said, if you're still in this trade using this first fair value gap for longs, or you still in, you'll still be inside. Let's see, does it want to break this minor buy side that we have right there? So let's see. Me seeing this right now, I wouldn't want to go for buys because of like the way the market is just moving at the moment. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, how about that out? Moving that reversal here. SMT divergence. It's SMT divergence. Okay, that kind of confirms it. Okay, wait. Okay, let's see. In the macro, let's see what price wants to do. Expecting the mid, but not that big. But yeah, I want to see a candlestick close above that. But yeah, I would want to see sales. Um, but the buys look nice. Like if we had entered this trade, we'll still be in a bit of profit. But first TP is above that, and we just took out this minor buy side. But price is not moving. Usually, when price takes out a minor buy, it just keeps going, going, going. But now we're just spending time in this area, and that's not what we want to see. You know, we are back at that first fair value gap. Let's see how we're going to respect the upper half of it. If not, have a candlestick closure below. Having a nice rejection right there. I'm telling you, breakout traders are like trapped in this. And you're just praying to God this thing just retraces and just goes up. Uh, let's see what the market wants to do. Doing a nice rejection up there of that. Nice rejection. Expecting the midpoint of that big right over there. Let's see what this be like a hangman. I hope you guys can see why sometimes Mondays are a bit tricky. Um, yeah, it's like the excitement of the people that maybe lost money on Friday, or the ideas of the things that happened, the news that had happened in this past weekend. Areas gonna try and come in rushing and just make money, you know, and that's where you can get hurt. That's why sometimes I feel like the mind has helped me with psychology wise as well, like sharpening my skills in a sense of like I'm trying to get in tune with the market as well, like see how the market is moving on a Monday. It's the first day of the week, but we have 4 days, 4 more days to trade. You don't have to trade every day. You can just study it and see what's going on, you know. Um, but yeah, like I said, I told you boys, I'm more confident on sales. I want to see price go below that first fair value gap. When I have a candlestick closure below that, and then we just have like a nice retracement, tapping into this, using it basically as an inverse fair value gap. If not, having a fair value gap in here, and then price using that fair value gap to send price higher. So let's just say if this were to stay a fair value gap, if this were to stay open, let's just say it went like a candle, right? Like it didn't close, and then price came, tapped into it, and used it to go lower. That's what I would want to see, and then I know I'm not going for sales, but I think we might close that, have like a mid, and immediately balance with that going lower. And then yeah, then I'll enter shorts, going for that, going for these, targeting these sell side. Like I'll target these lows right here. And then since we're all the way up here, I would probably use this as my um first TP. It's like it's not far off. Like it's good, it's a good first. This like our minus sell side. Let me just mark that. This is our minus sell side. So minus sell side. Red minus sell side. This is our minus sell side right there. Moving it. Oh, what did I move? Okay, didn't move anything. Having a nice rejection of that first fair value gap, and we came back to it during the macro. remember that during the macro we came back to this first fair value gap. So let's see what price want to displace going higher. Let's see. So if we had missed the entry of this during the macro, price came back having that nice retracement, coming back down because it's fighting this resistance, showing you that nope, I'm respecting this first fair value gap, which is below that midpoint. I want to see it go higher. If it is that's gonna go high, you want to see a big displacement creating like a fair value gap, right? And then use that fair value gap and then use that to go for longs, right? But obviously you can see like there's a lot of back and forth right here. There's like trapped buyers, trapped breakout buyers in this area. In this area. People that just make it like, I don't know, yellow. Like people that went longs once price broke this minor buy side. They're like trapped in this back and forth, like scared. Um, I'm trying to teach myself to think like retailers. um, yeah. Like this is a lot of back and forth with all of this, right? And there are people that are stuck in longs right now. They try to go longs for that breakout. And from my experience, actually, I think I should voice this out. What I've learned is that if price, example, took out an area, it's gonna make it like jagged, like this. Like price made this area jagged. These clean highs just made it jagged. Like, does that look clean for you? Like it just made it jagged. And sometimes from my experience, I've learned that once price starts moving slow at a at the area that it took out, maybe like a high, like example, it took out this high, and then price starts moving like a little bit jagged in this area. And sometimes I'm not, I'm a victim of this. Like I would want to chase the buys. So, example, in this case that I would want to go for buys after all of this mess, I'll try to, if I'm wrong with my bias at this point and I want to chase buys, I'll usually be sure that I'm wrong and then price will wanna go lower because now there's just like a lot of back and forth. Like it did the math that it wanted to do in this area. Or take out the stop losses and then taking out stop losses and obviously taking out traders that are that run trying to chase this breakout, right? And from my experience, once price starts moving slowly at an area that um you want to see it ram through. Okay, let's see what it touch into this. There we go. We want to see it displays higher now. Displays higher. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah. So if you see the price do that, most likely you're wrong, and then it's gonna like reverse on you, type of thing. So yeah, that's just from my experience what I've learned, and yeah. Okay, we have that first value gap. I said if we're gonna buy, we wanna see not first value gap, but we wanna see a fair value gap, right? Because we have the confirmation of like, nope, I don't want to go higher. I don't want to go higher. I wanna keep going higher. So this is showing us that price wants to stay or price wants to buy, right? Because it's at the upper half of it. And then we're having that displacement. So if this fair value gap stays open, we want to see price use this fair value gap to send price higher. This one right here. Want to see it maybe like tap into it. If not, it's not going to. It's just gonna shoot, and then we could use that for buys to take this out and potentially that or that London high that I had. So we tapped into this. So then this is what we'll use to go in for longs. So this would be our trade idea. This, or you can put it here below this midpoint, but it's not like 20 pips. So this would be like your trade idea. This is like first TP and then second TP right up there. So let's see. Let's see what price respect this midpoint. If not, use it as an inverse fair value gap, right? Let's see, will we lose this trade? Let's see. Yeah, but as you guys can see, like I said, we have that first fair value gap, price respecting it again. There was no body, nothing. upper half during the macro, showing us that price wants to do what? Go higher. And I said, obviously, you wouldn't. This just takes a little bit of practice, obviously, and trusting yourself. If you were like, oh no, how do you know that it's gonna respect the midpoint? Obviously, it also boils down to bias, like what you think the market's gonna do that day. That's why bias plays a role. But also you see the behavior of price, or how price reacts to just like if I did not use this for that first fair value gap, right? I would use this one because price is showing me that, oh no, we're respecting the midpoint, right? And like it wants to go higher. It's showing me that, oh, respecting the midpoint, we want to go higher. I'm respecting the midpoint of what? This first fair value gap, right? And then I said, I want to see if it is, I'm going to go for longs. After seeing price do this, I want to see a fair value gap, right? A displacement higher, and then use that fair value gap to sorry, to use that fair value gap to go for what? For buys. And so if I were to be in a trade, I would be using this for value gap right now because this gave me the confirmation that I don't want to go lower. I want to go higher, right? Because at this point, if it wanted to go lower, we would have seen it go below this first value gap, having a wick below that and respecting the opening range gap high. There's no bodies. After this, after this broke that, we have no bodies below we have no bodies below that, right? Going back inside, just wicks doing the damage, wicks doing the bad damage, doing the damage to the what? The first value gap of the day, of the week. Well, yeah, but you get the gist. So yeah, using this for um longs. Obviously, you're in Jordan right now, as you guys can see. You're in Jordan. But like I said, I would have loved to see buys. I mean sells, but obviously you can't be married to your buyers, stuff like that. Let's see what this is doing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Reselling. If I were to go longs, obviously now you'll be in drawdown, bro. And if I had used this for value gap the week of that, I would have been stopped out. So let's see what price want to use this as a inverse for value gap to like tap into it and then go lower. First trade of the week, bro, you'll be. Let's see what we respect this middle half. If not, we want to see price go above this midpoint. And then we know you're on the safe side. That'd be good. If not respecting the midpoint, it's gonna definitely sell. Well, not definitely, but it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. There we go. Nice push. Let's see. Are we gonna respect that midpoint of that fair value gap? Nope. So we wanna see price push to the downside. Maybe coming back to this first fair value gap. But look at this back and forth. This I don't trade Mondays. Look at this. It's a lot of also remove that. It's a lot of back and forth. So yeah, price is respecting that middle half of it. You wouldn't have been stopped out because your stops would be, nah. But I know you'll be, bro, be shaking if I went in for this. It's like a paper trading, if you want to call it that. But like I said, I would have used a lower risk because this would not be my initial, um, it was not something I would feel strongly about, right? So I would have used less money. I would have risked less money because it was not my initial bias. But if we were to short and price were to go below this first fair value gap, then I would use that for what you call this. I would use that for when you get stopped out, price respecting at one point. Then I would use my standard lot size because it's something that I'm more confident that I wanted to see. But like I told you guys, I gave you two scenarios of buys and sells. And with the selling, I told you that if we are, I mean, with the buying, I told you if we're gonna buy, we want to see price respect this upper half, and we want to get off a value gap on top of that, and use that for value gap for longs. And if you want to sell, we want to see price go below this first fair value gap. But obviously, we got a conversation of buys, like how I said, oh, if we're gonna buy, that's why I went in for this paper, quote unquote, paper trade, if you wanna call it that. So we wouldn't have gotten stopped out, still be in the trade. Good stop loss, not gonna lie, very good stop loss. This is what happens. Tap into that. So we had a nice rejection of that new week opening gap to price high, lower. Would have had a bit of drawdown, and we'll be back up in profit right now. Bit of drawdown, back up in profit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not crazy, right? We all saw that, right? That's crazy. Would have lost this trade. Let me just remove that. Would have lost that trade. So that first trade would have been an L. No, let's leave that. Let's leave that. Let's leave this. That first trade would have been a big L. Now that we're in at let's last minute. Let's see what we're gonna are we gonna go below this. But when we're going back to this and we're respecting it. This was another thing. We went back into this first value gap. Come on. Let's see. Are we gonna go below this the value gap? We have 1 more minute left. Come on. Respecting the upper half once again. So if we had entered, like I said earlier on, if we had entered using this earlier on, we would still be in the trade, but bro, this back and forth, bro, and how many pips it would be like. And first TP is like now only it's like it's only here. You get me? We'll be like in a lot of back and forth, price spending time over here. First TP would still be far. And then only when we reach first TP, I would have moved it to break even. So last one of the macro, we displaced. I'm gonna stay for like another 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 to see what price does. But respecting that first per value gap, the upper half of it, we've gotten stopped out of this. Let's see, does price use this as an inverse? Tap into that and send it higher. Oh, yeah, would have taken our first L using that. Let's see these get taken out. And, let's see what happens. Still gotta do. Okay, we would have been stopped out using that. We would have been stopped out. And then if you want to see price, when you see price, come take out the Salsa Liquid and Primer. Oh wait, bro, I just yo, I just realized I said salsa, not buy side. Jeez. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. I did not. I'm sorry it was bothering some of you. When you see price, take out that buy side. And yeah, just gonna wait and see what happens. So, so using that first value gap would have been a good idea. Um, yeah, would have been a good idea. But with my trade idea, I would have been stopped out. In all honesty, of course, I would have been stopped out. Honestly, I'm probably gonna react to this before I go out. Before I leave you guys, and then yeah. So today would have been a loss using that. Now this shows you also why I don't trade Mondays, but also there's just a lot of back and forth. Look at that. Like there isn't much price movement, as you guys can see. But that initial first trade I told you about using that first fair value gap, I mean, you would have been in this for like how long? Using that, you would have been in here for like 41 minutes, bro. 41 minutes waiting for a trade to play out. 32 minutes, wait. Yeah, 32 minutes. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. Um, yeah, and see that. Obviously, we'll see the outcome of what I've said tomorrow, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna hop off the charts now and go on about my day. Thank you for tuning in. Wish you guys all the best.